Coming up on Rob on the Road, East Brother Light Station. This is a trip you don't want to miss. We'll hit the water to explore this 1800s lighthouse. My goodness.
This really is one of the showstoppers as to why you come out here.
Panoramic views of the San Francisco and San Pablo bays.
The experience is pretty much what the world has to offer and what you make of it.
The birds of the bay.
Look at that. How beautiful.
Plus exciting food, friendship, and foghorns.
It is magical, and what a unique place in the world.
Plus, along the way, we'll make a stop at the beloved Ikeda's fruit stand.
Cherries, nectarines, peaches, all those wonderful fruits.
A California treasure bearing fruit and fun for travelers of the Golden State.
Get out. Wow, that's real.
Stop with us for tasty treats at a lovely location.
I say this all the time. I see it all the time on this show. We are so lucky to have such great places in California to go visit or to stop.
It's time to find your fun on Rob on the Road.
Hi.
And now, Rob on the Road, exploring Northern California.
Welcome to the Point San Pablo Yacht Harbor. This place is absolutely beautiful. Just take a look. We're going to take you out into the San Pablo Bay, and we're going to go on a trip to the East Brother Light Station. And Richard Forger is one of the innkeepers over at the East Brother Light Station. Good to see you.
Hi, Rob. How are you? Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely glad to be here. Thank you for having me on board.
Sure.
We're going on quite a journey today.
We are. It's going to be exciting.
It is absolutely beautiful. The East Brother Light Station. You and your wife are the two innkeepers.
That's correct.
We're on the boat called the Lucretia. We'll tell you why it's named Lucretia coming up. It's actually got a special story. About a 10-minute ride out there.
10 minutes, that's all it is, and the water's going to be nice and smooth today.
And this is how the guests get out there too.
Exactly.
So we've made it out to the light station, Richard, and this is how everyone goes up, huh?
This is it. Right up here, there's about, right now at low tide, there's about, 10, 12 steps. Tomorrow morning, at high tide, it'll only be about 5 or 6 steps.
Okay, and I do want to point out, though, that if someone is handicapped, you can take them up in the boat.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm going to go on up. We'll see you at the top.
You got it.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Look at that.
This has been here since 1873.
My goodness, how gorgeous.
Back in the 1980s, it was in pretty bad shape. The East Brother Light Station Foundation was created, and they restored it back to its original state as close as possible to when it was originally built.
This is spectacular. I know about 3 decades ago, it opened up as a bed and breakfast.
Right.
And I can't believe you actually get to spend the night here in the middle of the bay.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. I mean, you're just surrounded by beauty.
It's its own little ecosystem out here. It's very remote, yet very close.
Very good way to put it. This is East Brother, and that's West Brother. On West Brother is a wildlife habitat all of its own.
Yeah, just teeming with life out there. You've got harbor seals, you've got cormorants, you've got pelicans.
Look at the little seals.
Yeah.
Sleeping. Now this must be a lower tide because I see the watermark.
Right, yeah, this is lower tide, and that's the only time they hop up on the rocks like that. But at high tide, you'll find that they've all gone.
And it's starting to drizzle here a little bit. I mean, we really are out in the middle of Mother Nature, and the climate is constantly changing.
Right, always changing.
This was built in 1873, but the plan started way before that.
Back in the 1850s, when California just became a state, well, you had the gold rush going on then, and so there was all kinds of maritime traffic going up and down this waterway. just to get up to the gold country. So they needed some kind of marker here. Now this acts as a boundary line between San Pablo Bay and San Francisco Bay. And the mariners at the time needed some kind of marker because San Pablo Bay is so shallow and a lot of boats would ground. So the United States government appropriated funds to develop lighthouses all up and down the West Coast. And the very first lighthouse that was built was, what do you think? Alcatraz,
Yeah.
exactly. And then they started building lighthouses up and down the coast. Finally, in the late 1850s, they thought, well, let's build some more lighthouses inside the bay. However, in the early 1860s, what happened in U.S. history?
The Civil War.
Civil War, and that froze funds for quite a while. So finally the Civil War is over, 7 or 8 years later, and in the early 1860s, early 1870s, one contractor got the job to build 5 lighthouses inside the bay, of which this is one of them.
I find it fascinating that someone can come out here and stay inside such a historic gem that is actually a still working lighthouse,
Right.
still part of the entire Coast Guard, and I mean, the beauty.
Oh, it's gorgeous out here, it really is.
What is your favorite part?
That's my favorite part is all the machinery that's out here, because it's all vintage 1930s and it's all in perfectly operating condition.
Will you show us some of that?
Absolutely. We'll fire it up and we'll blow the foghorn, do all kinds of things.
What a beautiful Victorian house. Working our way to the top. The stairs are just beautiful. Okay, and this is, oh wow, this is it.
This is the light up here, the LED light that was installed about 2 years ago. 0 moving parts, light bulbs that last between 50 and 100,000 hours.
My goodness.
This is what is known as the Widow's Walk up here. And the reason it's called the Widow's Walk is because in old mariner days, the sailors would go out to sea, and it was places like this that the wives would be looking out longingly at sea, waiting for their sailors to come back, and sometimes they didn't.
The panoramic views are
Exactly.
spectacular. You know, as many places as I've been on this show, I've never been this close to the birds flying. And look at them, they hang right there in the wind.
They're almost like kites.
Look at that. How beautiful. And they're just soaring and bouncing around in the air. It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a 360 view that you really only can get from a lighthouse just like this.
Right.
This really is one of the showstoppers as to why you come out here. You get to come up to the top and walk outside, and it's open for people.
Well, what's really spectacular is coming out here at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning too, when it's crystal clear, and you could see not only the city of San Francisco, but you can see the Bay Bridge and the art light show that's on the bridge as well.
Wow, fantastic.
So,
Now, we mentioned on the boat ride out here that the boat is named Lucretia.
right.
And that started an era in the 1960s of restoration. Tell me the story of the two.
That's right. Well, at the time in the 1960s, the Coast Guard was running this lighthouse. And at one time they had people out here manning it. However, as automation made the island more sophisticated, the need for anybody to be out here became unnecessary. So they left the island completely, and they would just periodically show up to check on the light and the foghorn, which they still do. About every 2 to 3 months they show up to check on them. However, at the time, they felt that they didn't have the budget to take care of this building. So the Coast Guard proposed tearing all the buildings down.
My goodness.
Tearing it all down and then replacing this lighthouse with a steel tower and installing the light on top of it.
That would have been a travesty.
Well, there's this woman called Lucretia Edwards, and she got a little incensed because the Coast Guard was messing with her Victorian house with a picket fence.
Good for her, by the way.
And so she got together with the Contra Costa Parks Association, and they got the paperwork together and had the island designated a historical landmark.
Wow.
And that's what saved all these buildings from being torn down.
And thus the very fitting boat name, Lucretia.
Exactly, exactly. We decided to honor her by naming the boat Lucretia.
She lives on by bringing all the tourists out here that saved her Victorian house.
That's right. Hello. This is the game room here. And the San Francisco room, which is your room.
Hi.
And once you get up there, feel free to open up the hatch that's up on the side there, and you'll be able to get out of what is known as the Widow's Walk on the outside, okay, which is pretty neat, okay? As you all know or may not know, this place was built in 1873, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain some of the technical systems of the place and how things work around here. The only source of water we have is rainwater, that's it. And how it works is we've got this watershed, and when it rains, the water feeds into this trough, and eventually it fills a 50,000 gallon tank. So for every inch of rainfall, we can actually gather 3,000 gallons of water. The water, via back gravity, comes into the building and goes through this pump. From there, the water flows through a trusty old Culligan filter, and then the water gets exposed to UV light, which kills any possible microorganisms that might be in the water. We don't use any softeners, we don't use any chemicals at all, so it's just pure rainwater. All right, so now for the main event, all right, and that's the blowing of the foghorn. This is an interactive experience, so be prepared to work, and I hope all of you read your manuals last night, okay? So whenever you're ready, give it a good pull. So as this turns, once it gets this notch, it's going to blow, and it is going to be loud. Here it goes. Get ready. All right, so now go outside.
Sauteed mushrooms, fresh mint, and a little bit of. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, well, bon appetit.
What a gem here.
It is, and as you could tell, you know, the weather changes by the hour, so you can have a foggy, kind of overcast, romantic evening, and then wake up to the bright, sunny sunshine, and it's a romantic place.
And that's what just happened. You know, in the past 24 hours, we've gone from, you know, some rain and some bay storms to the beauty of the sunshine.
Exactly.
This inn really has a very special feeling for the guests. And the guests have had such a wonderful time eating, having a happy hour. You did all the work prepping that. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but you know, I feel like one of the lucky ones because I'm working at something I really enjoy. And my commute is like about 20 steps. and look at the surroundings. I don't have to look at a computer all day. I get to look out at the bay and the seals and the birds.
I can't help but notice the view from your kitchen. Lord have mercy.
Oh, it keeps me going. I'll tell you that and a little NPR, I'm good all day. Sometimes I find myself sort of gazing out the window and I'll catch myself a few minutes later and remind myself I'm in the middle of cooking something but it's magical. It is magical, and what a unique place in the world.
You know, I did not realize how beautiful these views would be from inside. You are literally sleeping on the bay.
Yeah. The experience is pretty much what the world has to offer and what you make of it.
Very well put, by the way. I like your perspective. You have quite a story that we stumbled across. You've been coming here for 30 years.
Right. Every 5 years, we were married here on the island, just over there, and we make it a point to come back every 5 years to celebrate our anniversary.
Besides the fact that you got married here, why is this place so special? Why did you pick this place in the first place?
The first time I saw the island, I went by on a cruise to Vallejo, and it was all boarded up and gray and derelict at the time, and I wondered about it, wondered what its history was. And some years later, when I saw on the news that they'd opened it as a B&B, I thought I'd love to go there. So made a New Year's resolution that year I'd save up my money and come out here to visit at least once.
When we passed you, you said to me, you need to make a commitment to inactivity while you're here. And I love that.
It's kind of what this place does. You come out here, you're not committed to do anything else, and you get to decide on the moment what you want to do. And it's refreshing. Allows you time to think and clear the brain cells.
There is really something to be said about that.
Even watching the tide change. My wife and I have been here and bring books and stay 2 nights and don't open a page. Just watching the birds and the tide change. You can see it here because it's very dramatic when it does change.
With kind of no place to go, but yet there's so much to see and do.
Very well put.
Yeah, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but you can experience it as many times as you want, but you have to do it at least once.
This is just one of those moments in the bay where you hear so much. You don't say anything, you just listen. I find it fascinating to meet people on the road and to find places like this that are actually people's offices.
Yes.
Their homes.
Right.
And for you, your office and your home is right in the middle of the San Francisco Bay.
That's right.
Not a bad job.
No, not a bad job at all. You know, we barely have internet connectivity out here so that we can do our bookings. We don't have television. We don't have anything. In fact, one of the things that some of the guests ask, well, where are the televisions?
Who needs one?
You know, you don't come out here to watch television. You come out here to mellow out.
And disconnect.
That's right.
Well, we have stopped along the way at a wonderful location, Ikeda's in Yolo County in Davis. Good to see you, Glenn.
Nice to see you as well. Thank you.
Glenn Ikeda here, one of the owners, and I want to jump right to the pronunciation of your name because I can hear people now saying, Rob, you're saying it wrong. How do you pronounce your name?
My last name is pronounced Ikedas.
Ikeda.
Ikedas, not Akitas, but Ikedas.
And you even said as a little boy working here, you'd answer the phone the wrong way.
Most of the time, everybody thinks it's Akitas. So what I would answer the phone Ikedas, they said, I got the wrong number, and click, and they would hang up. So I said, you know what? I'll just answer it Akitas. But the real way is Ikedas.
These these places, both the one here in Davis and Yolo County and then the flagship store in Auburn, they are not just places to stop along the way on a road trip. We saw someone come in earlier that came specifically for the pie. This is not your typical produce stand, but they really are local institutions.
Well, my father and mother started the Auburn store about 50 years ago, and my brother and I now are continuing that tradition down here at the Davis store and have exactly what we have in Auburn in Davis.
They're not working as much as they used to, but your mom still comes to the Auburn store.
She is the original owner, and she wants to make sure that as my brother and I continue to grow the stores, she wants to make sure that what she did is what we're doing, and she loves it.
Freshness is a big draw. I want to point out these flats of strawberries are from Watsonville.
We try to sell and buy as much local as possible. So with these strawberries, the majority of it starts to come out of Watsonville, but also you see the little micro farms along the freeway. We also buy from those little micro farmers. Cherries, nectarines, peaches, all those wonderful fruits. All that is local, sustainable, organic if possible, but the number one thing my mom and dad always said is the quality, the freshness, and the taste of the fruit. Everybody loves what we have, which is this farm direct to the store, fresh, organic. Those are the things that people still want. Both of our locations were visible from the freeway. We're still a stopping off point, so it's a great way to be able to get to the customer immediately. They don't have to go far off the road. We're fortunate that this store in Davis tends to be more of a local store. They have a choice to shop all the wonderful grocery stores, but they still want to come in and get the farm fresh produce right here at our little fruit stand. The one in Auburn, tourists have made us a destination stop between Bay Area and Tahoe.
What are some of your favorite things in here for people? Of course, the produce is just has people pouring in, but what are some of your favorite other items?
Well, I'm a foodie and I love to eat food. And so anything that I've been able to help create for the store are favorites of mine. So the fresh sauces, the pies, the bakery items like the cookies, muffins, the snack mixes that we get, the local nuts, all those things inside, the treats.
I hate to impose on you, but can we taste?
Absolutely, let's go give it a try.
Let's go. So we said we're gonna taste, but I didn't know you were gonna bring this many beautiful things out. But I'm glad to do it.
I'm happy to do it for you.
All right, what do you have?
Well, I wanted to make sure when I made a blueberry muffin, there were a lot of blueberries. So you can see that the blueberry muffins are packed with blueberries. So we definitely have to try my favorite muffin. That's the blueberry muffin.
Okay.
That's a blueberry muffin.
Get out. Wow.
Now,
That's real.
I'm telling you, this is a real blueberry muffin.
That's no shortcut either.
Oh, no. Everything is made with pure butter.
I taste it.
Everything is made by hand. We don't do anything by machine.
That's delicious.
This is a chocolate chip cookie made with Guittard chocolate chip. We actually have the Guittard family that comes to our store in Auburn, and we tell them we sell a chocolate chip cookie with his chocolate in it. And then lastly,
Hold on. That butter?
the butter, through and through.
What's your mama think about that?
Well, she was the one that helped me with the recipe, so she knows how good the product is.
All right, and then
Then lastly, this is our #1 selling apple pie. It is a Dutch apple pie made with our Granny Smith and Golden Delicious apples on our ranch in Auburn. So
Oh, really?
This is local apples, and then we use a butter brown sugar topping for the topping. You'll have to try that.
okay. Let's just do this.
Just the right amount of cinnamon and nutmeg. It's an old-fashioned apple pie recipe.
Unreal.
It's our #1 selling apple pie, and we love it. We're proud of it.
That's ridiculously good.
Thank you.
Seriously, I've never had apple pie like that. That's
Well,
the truth.
thank you. Thank you.
And speaking of this apple pie, I know the San Francisco Examiner did a competition.
They did a competition. They took 5 district court judges, actual judges, to become an apple pie judge. And so they went to Sebastopol, they went to Apple Hill, they went to Susanville. Everybody that called in and said, this is their favorite apple pie place. Well, a couple of our customers called in, they came to us, and we placed #1 for the apple pie.
Get out! Good
Thank
job!
you. Thank you. Having this healthy business, giving local, sustainable, fresh fruit and meats, helping the farmer in California succeed, that's what it's all about.
I say this all the time. I see it all the time on this show. We are so lucky to have such great places in California to go visit or to stop
Well,
along the
thank
way.
you. We appreciate that. We do it because we love it. It's something that my father and mother did. They gave my brother and I the opportunity to continue to do.
Well, I would say that your dad and your mom's hard work is in good hands.
Thank you. Thank you.
Glenn, good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Here
Thank you
at
very much.
Ikeda's, say it with me.
Ikeda's.
In Davis.
Thank you very much. Our pies are good for about 4 or 5 days
You know why this one's not going to be good for 4 or 5 days?
because you're going to eat it.
Because I'm going to eat
before.
it.
Rob on the Road's a California icon.
Aren't you sweet?
I watch it all the time.
Aren't you sweet,
You know,
Tim?
you have very good episodes that, you know.
Well, thank you.
Why make it when we can buy the best pie in town right here?
I mean, I watched you guys come in the door and you were like, boom, boom, boom.
To order a DVD copy of this program, call 888-814-3923 or visit kvie.org.